In real life,
In real life,
Jesus
is alive.
In real life, Paul didn't meet Christ.
Yes, he did. Did Muhammad really see Jesus and Abraham and Moses?
Let me clarify.
On the night journey?
Let me clarify.
Because that was a vision.
Let me clarify.
But you believe that?
Hang on. It's a clarify. I'm making a distinction.
So it's a double standard.
I'm making a distinction.
What's the distinction? Wait, hold on. Time out. Just don't misrepresent me. I won't do that to you. You quoted it. You quoted this. Wait, please stop. Did I interrupt you?
What did I say?
Did I interrupt you?
Yes, you did.
No, I did not. I sat here and let you speak.
I know, you interrupted me.
No, I let you speak. Yeah, it's on camera.
All right, guys. Today we've got a crazy debate on our hands. And trust me, things get heated. There are so many points to dive into that it's about to get wild. We're about to watch God Logic, aka Avery, absolutely destroy the top Muslim preacher with logic, facts, and some serious truth bombs. Buckle up, because this is one you won't want to miss. Let's jump in and see how it all goes down.
So if you were not a Christian, you would reject Islam because it mentions something that goes against the Bible. Would that make sense?
It's not just it's something that goes against the Bible. It's saying it's making a positive claim.
Let me rephrase what I'm saying.
Okay, go ahead.
If you didn't know anything about Christianity, would your rejection of Islam still be valid the way you explained just now?
Yes.
Right. So the Quran says Christ talked about someone to come after him, whose name will be Ahmed, and you, whether you're a Christian or you have no knowledge of Christianity, you think because of that you reject Christianity.
Yeah, and here's the reason why. It's because if I'm investigating the claims. As an investigator, I'm trying to verify, okay, is he telling the truth here? So when I go and I investigate and I don't see anywhere in any history where Jesus mentioned Ahmed to come after him, I'm like, oh, well, this book is false. It's making a false claim.
Jesus himself said in John 19:30, "It is finished," meaning his work of salvation was complete. There was no need for another prophet to come and change the message. In Galatians 1:8, Paul even warns that if anyone, even an angel, preaches a different gospel than what was already given, they should be rejected, making it clear that no later revelation could override what Christ had already fulfilled.
Very interesting. So as an investigator, you have investigated and looked into what this claim Jesus made. Firstly, where has he made these claims?
Yeah.
The writings you've read yourself in Greek, in Hebrew, in Aramaic. So you've learned of all these languages and investigated, right?
I've looked into the text. I've looked into the text, and I haven't seen it.
If a text is in Greek, you've looked into the Greek text, you've understood it, fine, good.
That's like saying you can't understand a history book unless you've studied every language it was ever written in. Just a lazy way to dodge the real discussion.
So you've investigated that the early reports about Christ, the ones that talks about Christ himself, and you have made yourself a good investigator, a good critic, and say this kind of writings is authentic and acceptable and reliable. For example, when we look at writings about Christ, in the Gospel of St. Thomas, for example, 114 sayings, on the Gospel of Judas, in the Gospel of Infancy, right? In the Gospel of Mary, none of which are in the Christian canon, in the Bible that Christians follow today. But these were written by people who thought they were following Christ, who thought they were following the teaching of Christ, what Christ preached. So you investigated them and you considered, so you have all of these writings, the 4 in the New Testament, in your New Testament, and the other 45 or so that we know of extant in various manuscript traditions, and you said, okay, this is reliable, this is not. So the question now pinges on, how do you establish authenticity and reliability of all of these textual tradition that is about available to us?
That's actually not the question.
That's the question for me, to you.
Well, yeah, so my question is, at first was, where does Jesus say this? That was the question. Not on, is this reliable, is this reliable, is this reliable, is this reliable? When we look at the text of all the claims of what Jesus said,
where?
We do not.
Where do you look?
In the earliest testaments that we have of his words. The New Testament.
That's wrong.
Right.
Again.
No, well, that's what we have.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, can I land this?
I will let you speak, Avery, but I want to clarify something.
Yeah, but let me land this.
Huh?
Let me land.
I really love the way Avery is handling this. He's staying super calm while the Muslim guy is being all pushy, trying to throw out distractions. Instead of playing into those cheap tricks, Avery's sticking to the facts and showing why he's got the stronger argument, not falling for any gotcha moments.
But you misunderstood my question.
No, I'm trying to explain my point.
But did you understand my question, though?
I understand your question.
Go ahead.
You asked me how.
Go ahead.
So
Answer
this
the
is
question.
why I'm saying this, because you're changing the conversation
I am
to.
not.
Not that my first question was, does Jesus mention the and so where? I haven't seen anywhere where he does that. So if you can provide that for me,
Sure.
that would be beautiful.
Sure.
He asked if the Muslim man could show where Jesus specifically mentioned Ahmed, which is a huge point, because there's no record of Jesus saying that in the Bible. Jesus made it clear in John 14:6 that he is the way, the truth, and the life. So unless you can show something that contradicts that, it's a hard claim to back up.
So this is what I'm trying to establish.
Okay.
Whatever Christ said or not said, let me just remind you, so if you didn't remember, there are reports in some Gospels, Christ is saying something like this: I have many things to tell you. Many things. Not one thing, not two things, many things. But you cannot bear them. But when I go, he will come and tell you. That means whatever Christ said, he said many things, but he didn't actually tell them, these disciples. So the things that he didn't say, that also did he tell to someone else, number one. Because he didn't tell them, right? Like he didn't meet Paul in real life when he was alive.
He did.
No. Paul, in real life,
Jesus is alive.
In real life, Paul didn't meet Christ.
Yes, he did.
Don't tell me.
The Muslim man is wrong. Acts 9:3-6 describes Paul's encounter with Jesus on the road to Damascus as a real physical experience, not just a dream. Paul was blinded by the light and heard Jesus speak to him. So this wasn't some imagination or vision. It was a direct, life-changing moment.
Because Paul saw a vision, not real Jesus, right?
Wait, it was
Let's
Jesus.
Let's see that.
He was alive.
A vision and a dream is not the same as seeing you. If I see you in my dream, and if I see you now physically, is it the same? It's not the same. So I don't have to even elicit an answer from you.
Did Muhammad
Let me
really
clarify.
see Jesus and Abraham and Moses?
Let me clarify.
On the night journey?
Let me clarify.
Because that was a
let's-
vision.
Let me clarify.
But you believe that?
Hang on. It's a clarify. I'm
Okay.
making a distinction.
It's a
Making
double
distinction.
it's a double standard.
I'm making a distinction.
What's
Making
the
a
distinction?
Avery is right. There's no solid evidence that proves Muhammad saw Jesus, Abraham, and Moses. The Hadith says Muhammad experienced it spiritually, not physically, and since the Bible and historical records don't back up those claims, it's a bit of a stretch to say he literally met these figures.
I am telling you.
Okay.
So now, when we say,
So it's no
where did Christ say these things, right? You have documents in which you say, these are the documents that we believe Christ says so, right? The question inevitably that comes is, how reliable are these documents in which they supposedly talk about what Christ said or Christ did? So it's important for us to verify and authenticate these documents.
All right, let me respond
What are
to
the
that.
no?
Let me respond.
You can respond. But here's my
Let me
question.
respond.
Here's my question. What are the criteria that we can use to determine the authenticity and reliability of what Christ said in those available documents?
Got you. So let me ask you this, and just a quick answer, please, so I can pick it back off. When you quoted Jesus saying, I have many things to say to you, but you can't bear them now, was that authentic? Is that an authentic
For
statement
me,
of Jesus?
it's not. But for
Okay,
you, it is.
Wait, no, you don't know what's authentic for me.
Okay.
But-
Avery brings up Jesus' statement, I have many things to say to you, but you can't bear them now. And the Muslim guy denies it, saying it's not authentic, but that's just wrong. In John 16:12, Jesus is telling his disciples they're not ready to understand everything yet, but the Holy Spirit would help them later. So it's clearly a legitimate part of his teachings.
But look,
It's not
wait,
authentic for you,
hold on.
I'll take it.
Time out. Just don't misrepresent me. I won't do that to you. You quoted it. You
What
quoted
did I
this.
say
Wait,
earlier?
please stop.
What did I
Did I
say?
interrupt you?
What did I say?
Did I interrupt you?
Yes, you did.
No, I did
Can you
not.
remember?
I sat here and let you speak.
I know, you interrupted me
No,
earlier
I
on.
let you
It's on-
speak.
it's on
Yeah,
video.
it's on camera.
Continue.
So, thank you. I appreciate it. So you quoted. You said in one of these documents, Jesus says, and you built your argument on. There's other words that Jesus mentioned that are not found here, and he didn't tell you what these words are. That's what you built your case on. So now when I asked you, okay, let's rewind. that verse that you quoted, was it authentic? You said no. So then therefore, you don't know if there were other words. You can't say that there were many words that Jesus didn't say to his disciples. You don't know if he didn't say everything.
Respond.
No, let me finish.
Okay, finish and I'll
So you don't know if Jesus didn't say everything. For all we know, he did. Especially according to the Quran, he said everything that was in the Injil. He revealed the Injil from the Quran's paradigm. So he didn't miss anything. Now, if we're,
again.
no, we'll see. So now, but you didn't finish the verse. He says, I have many things to say to you now, right? But I have many things to say to you, but you can't bear them now. But when the Holy Spirit comes, who the Father will send in my name, he will guide you into all truth. For some reason, you left that out. I don't know why. But
I can tell you why right now. Because he wasn't important. Why those points you make, there are many things you're supposed to say.
It's very important.
So, the Muslim guy conveniently left out the part of the script where Jesus says, "The Holy Spirit hasn't guided you yet." And Avery calls him out for it, asking why he ignored that key part. I think the Muslim guy left it out because it's a huge point that makes his whole argument shaky. If the disciples hadn't been fully guided yet, it messes with the claim that they should have understood everything about Muhammad's role right then and there. Honestly, the Muslim guy is being super slimy with his tactics, trying to dodge important details, while Avery's staying on point, debating with good faith and sticking to the facts. Avery's just trying to have an honest conversation, but this guy's not playing fair. Thank you so much for watching. If you appreciate this kind of discussion, please subscribe, and may God bless you.